Do you dream of exploring the enchanted land of Morocco? Discover the magic with Destination Morocco, the ultimate travel experience for those seeking luxury and adventure. We specialize in crafting bespoke itineraries tailored to your unique tastes and desires. If you are a discerning traveler who values an immersive, curated adventure, then visit destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, morocco.com. And let us bring your dream Moroccan vacation to life.
How are you guys doing
Excellent.
today?
Wonderful.
Good,
Nice.
good, good. Thank you.
So Azdean is in the car.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I'm in downtown. I got caught up in downtown, so
Yeah,
um,
no worries.
unfortunately,
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this today. Talking about scams. It's always one of those things. It, it's part of life, right? It's part of travel. It can be annoying, can be frustrating, but the more you know, of course, the better it is. The better you can navigate these things. And I guess it goes back to that episode we did. It's crazy. It's almost a couple years ago now, but talking about
yes.
the scams, and it was a big help for a lot of people. So I'm curious to find out what's changed, what's new, what you guys have heard about, kind of rumors on the street, things you've learned from other people about what's happening lately and what's kind of changed the last maybe couple years.
There has been quite a bit of changes, especially with the pandemic. And
Yeah.
after the pandemic, there's always updates, new things to look out for. So, and even if, for us in our last trip, we faced the same thing literally. So scams, it doesn't matter how prepared you are, somebody's gonna get you at some point. So,
Mm.
but Sam is in Marrakesh, so he
yeah,
has first-hand experience. So, Sam, if you can share some
yeah. Please,
information with
yes,
us, please.
yes. Thank you for this question. Ted. Unfortunately, I hope so that this will change after the COVID, as Steve mentioned. But unfortunately, this comes stay the same, and there is like new other scams that we will talk about later.
Mm.
And the scams, there is always scams, not in Morocco, but everywhere.
Yeah, it's an important point because I mean, it doesn't just happen in Morocco. I mean, I've traveled all around. You guys have traveled, and lots of our listeners have. And whether it's, hey, I mean, sure, it could be places like India or other countries in Africa, etc. But it can happen in France. It can happen in the United States, right? So they're different, but it can
For
happen
sure.
anywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking I had a bit of a list, I guess, or a theme. So if we try to organize ourselves a bit, especially in terms of like the traveler's experience. So imagine we can kind of start with when you arrive in Morocco and you get to the airport, you get in your bags, you're going through customs and all that kind of stuff. You're walking through the terminal. That whole arrival process, things can happen there. We can then just jump forward a bit to now you've arrived, maybe you've been there for a day or two, wherever it is in Morocco, but you're starting to get used to things. So you're walking around the souks and the squares. You're maybe finding a bit of local transportation, things to watch out for at that point. Then we can get into really the details of actually shopping and bartering. We've often talked about that in a lot of episodes, but we can kind of narrow in on a couple of things here, and even dining out, maybe restaurants or other things to watch out for, and then of course anything else that comes to mind. But let's imagine that if you're a traveler arriving at the airport, and maybe this is a key point, right? Because especially your guests, they don't usually, there may be a couple or something, but it's not like a big group, right, that's traveling together and arrives together and goes straight into their tour bus. You have your guests that often travel solo, or maybe they're taking the small group tour, and they'll meet up with the guide. But there is that point, I remember this for us, when of course we arrive and we're on our own until we meet our guide. So there's those
Yeah.
first few steps, right? Getting off the plane, getting your bags, customs. Are there some things that come to mind for you guys then, when those first few moments?
Yeah, definitely. Those first moments are really, really critical. They can set up, the rest of your tour or experience in Morocco. Things especially this case has gone a little bit better, but it's still stressful.
Mm.
Just to watch out whether it's 45 minutes or an hour to take you that it takes you to meet your driver or to a leader or a guide at the airport. Um, there's a little bit of improvement. However, keep in mind, it's like in the US here, you have, like luggage carts. In Morocco, there's luggage carts, but they are attached to somebody. So you got to pay that somebody, for
Yeah.
you to get your
Yeah.
luggage. And, that's another opportunity for you to be scammed. Normally, I would give them, the equivalent to USD $2, which is, 20 dirhams
Mm.
in Morocco. And normally that's a fair price if there's not excess, if it's not a lot of luggage. Then the other thing that has improved, which is when you get your luggage and it's time for you to take a cab. But we'll talk about that later. But I also want to see what Sam has to say, what addition that Sam has to say, between the experience for you clearing customs until you get your luggage,
Yeah,
please.
absolutely, Azdean and Ted. What I want to add here is you have just to be careful, especially if you have your suitcases with you. Make sure that it's locked, first of
Mm.
all, especially when you arrive at the airport, because there is some people, unfortunately, that just looking for some stuff to take, especially like if you have like perfume, if you have stuff like that, they can take it from your luggage, unfortunately.
Mm.
This is why I recommend highly if you can lock your suitcases or your luggage when you arrived. As I still mentioned as well, when, for example, you're looking for your luggage, there is always someone who is looking, will ask you questions. Oh, did you get your luggage? Oh, do you know where you to get this? Or you got to stamp your passport or something like that. Okay, if you need that, just go ahead with him and give him some small coins like 20 dirhams, as I didn't say. Maybe if you have a lot of luggage, you can give him like $5, which is equivalent to 50 dirhams, Moroccan dirhams. If you don't need this, just say thank you and keep going.
Mm. Are those guys that you're talking about, Sam? Like, where would you see them in the airport? Are they around the luggage area then? Are they out once you get past and kind of near the exit to the airport?
There is some of them just when you get out from your plane, when you get into the airport, inside the airport, of course.
Mm.
You will just let them just hanging around and asking people like stuff of these questions.
And they're allowed to be there.
Yes, because normally they should be there to help people, to help
Ah.
travelers, to help travelers. If, for example, to give them the informations, directions, where to get the luggage, where to stamp your passport, and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, they did another job with beside
Yeah.
the official job they have to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that you said that they'll take perfumes, they'll take stuff from your luggage. Are you talking about the luggage handlers as soon as the luggage comes out of the airplane before it even gets
No,
to the luggage claim?
no, the customers mostly. There is some cases that's happened that they took stuff before even it arrived to the customs.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So
yeah,
basically,
yeah.
it's handled right at the almost at the
Yes,
airplane. The other thing
yes.
that I want to add, sometimes those custom agents, they can create problems for you. And it happened to me a few times, even the last time that I was in Morocco, last summer. We had the, what do you call it, the escort system, whatever, that somebody greets you at the airport and they take you with them. And, we did this because we want to avoid any problems. I don't like the airport in Casablanca. It is my least favorite airport.
Hmm.
I do not like that airport at all, and
How
because of
come?
customs.
Okay.
So it's just it's too many things, too many scams, not nice people. I mean, I don't want to sound the alarm, but they hustle us, and
Yes.
I'm
And
sure the
they,
tourists, most of them, they're not they
yes,
don't
yes,
even come close to them. But because they see that you're coming from Canada, you're coming from the US, especially these two, North America, Europe, the Moroccans that are coming from Europe, they're a little different than the ones that are coming
yeah,
from US and Canada. So
Mm.
they
yeah,
know they can haggle us, they know they can hustle us, and there's nothing we can do. Always, they always tell me, they look at my passport, and he looks me in the eye and said, "There's a problem."
yeah,
And I know there's
yeah.
no problem. They just wanna,
Yes,
they just want
yes,
some money. So
Yeah.
last time when I had that lady with me, it's called Fast Track, by the way.
yeah,
So
Mm.
she was doing the talking. I didn't, I was looking at him. He was looking at me. I was not saying anything to him.
Mm.
And he said, "There's a problem." I didn't even talk to him. And then the girl was like, "There's no problem. Everything is stamped." I mean, it's less than less than 30 seconds. They just stamped my passport and we're going through. And he
Mhm.
stopped us. And I said, no, I just did not talk to him at all. So you have to be careful. Us Moroccans, we
Yes.
know what they're doing. And they'll get something out of you.
Mhm.
We want them to greet us with a smile, welcome back to your country. But unfortunately, in most cases, it doesn't happen for us. I don't expect it anymore. So, but this is a little bit off subject, but it just, it bothers me sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
what I talked about, Ted and Azdean, is by experience, because many people, many clients told me that they were stolen at the airport. Somebody take like some stuff from their luggage even before they arrive to the customs.
Oh yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and in the
Yeah.
customs, if you don't pay attention, for example, if they say, or as they say, there is a problem. If there is a problem, if you don't pay attention when they are looking for like checking your luggage, you just have to be careful. You have to be there, else they will just take something
Yes.
from, especially
Yes.
like if you have shoes or you have stuff like
Yes.
perfume, like even chocolate, a box of chocolate, they can take it from your luggage. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are
Ted,
the
my
official
apologies.
customs officials that are doing this.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. We are in trouble now. It's
I
too
know.
late.
No, it's
I'm
the
going.
Well, you
I'm
have to
going.
know.
it's the
Yeah.
truth. Yeah,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
happened.
yeah,
This is
we
what's
can't.
happening.
Yeah.
We're just telling people the truth.
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Here's the thing. Sometimes they'll
Mm.
team up against you. There'll be two. One will get your passport. The other one will open your luggage. Stay with the luggage.
Yeah.
Your eyes on the
Okay.
luggage.
Yeah.
He can't do much with the passport. Just keep your eyes on your luggage, because this happens to
Yeah.
me last time. We were traveling as a family and we had quite a bit of luggage.
Hmm.
We're very fortunate in the US. You have extra bag, whatever you pay for it, and you're good, just like everybody else. In Morocco, they look at you like it's, why are you having too many bags?
Mm.
Why? I
Yeah.
say, what do you mean why? I haven't been here in 4 years. I have an extensive family. We're gonna be filming, we're gonna be doing, so there's a lot of this stuff is equipment.
Mm.
So, and they just get mad because you have too many luggages. And
Yeah.
it's just funny. This happened to me last time, and I wanted to bribe. I don't say it's a bribe, it's not a tip, it's not a coffee. I want to bribe one of
Pretty
those
much.
guys, but there were six of them. I was like, if I pay one of them, he's gonna talk to the other six people.
Of course.
And it was
Yes.
like, yeah, I mean, this is the truth, and as painful as it sounds, that's why
Mm.
I don't like Casablanca Airport. It's so, and
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
luckily, somehow he looked at me, and I just played stupid. That's
Mm.
basically what I did. And he kept asking me questions, and he was like, "Hey, you have shoes?" And I said, "Yes." And he was like, "How many?" I said, "There's a lot of them." Where are they? I said, "I don't know. Just look for them." "What else you have?" And I told him I have bags. "How many?" "I don't know. There's a lot of them." "What are they?" "I don't know which bag." All the bags, honestly, all the luggage, they look alike. So I had no clue, but I
Yeah.
was honest. So he kept looking and looking, and his boss kept pressuring him, "Look, get the bags, get the shoes." He couldn't find them, and he looks at me, and I look at him. He looks at me, and I look at him. He's like, "Get out of my way!" He yelled at me,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and, and I said,
No,
"You don't have, yeah,
yeah, honestly, in Casablanca airport, they're very rude.
Mm.
Very rude towards the
yeah,
travelers. It's not even even not only the Moroccans living, for example, in US or living in Europe, but with other travelers.
Yeah.
They are very very rude. Yes, unfortunately. Yeah.
But are you saying in terms of picking through your bags and asking tons of questions, they target more the Moroccans from abroad returning to Morocco, or do
especially
they?
U.S. and Canada, yes,
Yeah.
Yes, especially
especially
yeah
Okay.
yeah
because be, this is when you go to Morocco, when you pass in the market and you talk to a vendor or something, they'll tell you you're from Canada or US or from Europe.
Mm.
I was like, how do you know? They say, well, the guys in Europe, they're rude.
Mm-hmm.
The guys in
yes
Canada and the US, they're very nice, and they say thank you and please. So they know you. They look at the way that you're dressed. They know, the brand you're wearing. They know the clothes. They say, well, you know what? You dress like a Canadian or an American. It's just they know. Trust me, they know. I mean, yeah.
yeah
They can tell you have
So
money and you have stuff, so that's the
yes
target.
yes, yes,
yes
yes, yes.
Do you recommend
And
then people order that fast track service that you did?
I mean,
Well,
it adds to the service, but it's even in itself, it's you know, sometimes it's a win, sometimes it's not worth it.
Mm.
So
depends. It
it's
depends.
not, the service is not consistent. It's um, yeah, it really depends. And sometimes they have restrictions from airport to airport. Certain things we can do in Marrakesh, we cannot do in
Yes.
Casablanca, and stuff like that. So yeah, we tried it, but for the most part, it was good, but it's not worth the hype.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna try to give a little positive story then, because that sounds pretty negative, and I know it can happen for sure. But at least when we were there,
yeah,
we were in customs. We get off the plane, walk down that long hallway and into the customs, big room, right? And all the people coming off the plane, and everyone snaking around through the line up
yes,
to the
yeah,
front, and there was maybe two
yes,
booths open, right? And we were there with our kids. We didn't have our
yes.
bags yet. Uh, and we weren't really in a rush. I'd already think I don't know actually if I had sent a message to Driss yet, our guide, but we weren't too worried about the timing. However, we were standing there with the kids, like it's going to take half an hour. A guy comes over with the uniform, basically police, and of course, the first thought is like, "Oh boy, what's happening? What do they want?" And he says, "Follow me, follow me." Okay, so we go out of the line and around this corner to a whole other room that was similar, had the booth and everything for a customs officer. Nobody else was there. There was one guy at the booth,
Oh wow.
and the guy who was taking us took us up there and said, "There you go, sir," because we had the kids, I guess, and they fast
Yes,
tracked us through.
yeah.
Just to say, obviously, you never know if that's going to happen. We were lucky or whatever, but there are some good stories. Like it's not all negative, and I know we don't want to scare people too much. It's just about being prepared. So you never know. Sometimes things work
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
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 No, I had
Absolutely. Yeah.
the same situation. There was a family behind me. This was back, I believe, 2010. Um, and the police officer, he came and he took him as well. So
Hmm.
they do take care of families, and they keep take in
Priority. Yeah.
consideration the kids.
Yeah.
You know, everything that I said. I don't want to sound negative. I love Morocco. I love the country. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's just we wish we could see some really positive improvements.
Hmm.
It's and it's for me, my case, it's not just last year, but it has always been when I travel through Casablanca. I'm
Mm.
based in Marrakesh. Um, then we know people in Marrakesh versus Casablanca, and God forbid my luggage gets lost. 2 hours, whatever, one way. It's time consuming. So
Yeah.
um, it doesn't help. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
suppose there's not really much option, like for at least coming from North America. Are there any direct flights to Marrakesh? Do you have to go to Casablanca?
You don't
Um,
have to go to Casablanca, but there's some flights in certain days,
Mm.
like
yes.
Air France, like British Airways, like Turkish Airline, but not on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
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 Because then you can avoid the whole airport in Casablanca in the first place.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a choice. For example, if you
Yeah.
fly directly from, for example, New York, you have direct flight to
Yes.
Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have Marrakesh, for
Yeah.
example. There is
Hmm.
Yes.
yeah, just few times a week when there is like
Yeah.
direct flights to Marrakesh. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
that'll
and by the
improve too.
way, yeah, by the
Mm.
way, I've so far we have never heard a client complains about, the hassle and bustle at the airport.
Mm. That's good.
So
Yeah.
so far we have not heard anybody complain about a bad experience at the airport. So that's why it's I shouldn't, but I'm taking it personal in a way. But I just wanted to share
Yeah.
the good and the bad, and just be true to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and
No,
have the listeners get ready. So
Yep.
yeah. Mostly it happens with Moroccans because the guys I told you about are Moroccans living abroad. So
yeah,
the same thing happened to them. They have everything. So every time they come to Morocco, they have something been stolen from their luggage.
Mm.
Every
yeah,
time. Sometimes like sneakers, sometimes like uh, perfume, sometimes as I said, box of chocolate or some stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. See every time. Yeah, there is
yeah.
always something. Yeah.
Mm. I want to ask you a couple things. Let's get back to the luggage carts. So, is it you're
Yes.
saying the only way to get one is you have to pay someone to get one for you?
In most
Mm,
cases, yes.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
we arrived last time at, flight was delayed. We arrived at 1:30 a.m. and when we got to the luggage claim area, it was packed. Everybody has, a luggage cart with
Yeah.
them. So people they use them. That's how they work, and they are allowed to be there. I'm not sure if other countries have the same culture or same type of
Mm.
service, but that's you can't go and you can if you see one empty, just grab it. But in most cases, it's gonna come with somebody.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing is like, fine, even if you're happy to tip and stuff, when you first get to the country, you probably don't have any small change. So what can you do?
Yes.
Oh,
In that
this is
case, I
this is
always
an issue.
recommend, let's say if you're coming from the US, you can do a small exchange at the airport, you know,
Okay.
maybe $50, maybe $20. It's more than enough to get you through the airport. Then when you get to Morocco, if you have, if you're traveling with us, then we take care of it for you. Then if you're not traveling with us, then, you can get to the Riyadh or whatever the hotel, whatever you're staying. The rate is going to be a little bit uh, better than what you would get at the airport, but if you have to, get them at the airport that when you land as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But if you have like coins like $1, $2, $5, I suggest to have like not a lot of this, but you have like with you like $5 with $1, $2. That's
Yeah.
it. You will be enough to get out of the airport. Then, as I still mentioned, there is
Yes.
exchanging points outside with a high rate where you can exchange your money.
Okay.
Yeah, but for
Yeah.
the airport, you have to have
Yes.
like some like $5, $1, $2, $5 at least. Just if you want to tip somebody there, someone or just to buy a cup of coffee because before you get out of the airport. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also you can still tip in US currency or Canadian currency or whatever currency,
Mm.
because those guys, they work at the airport, so many times people don't have the Moroccan currency to tip, so they
Yeah.
can, whatever you give them, $2, $5, they can go somewhere else and exchange it.
Hmm.
So yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's think then. You've got your luggage, you're through customs, of course, and you're ready to carry on. Now, if you are meeting your tour guide right away, that's great. But let's for sure talk about
Yes.
if you do need to get a ride into the city and the Casablanca airport, of course, depending on traffic, but could be 45 minutes or more into the city. And whether you're a solo traveler or maybe you're picking up a tour later, or anything like that, but you need that ride into the city. So, what are your options? I remember you talked about this in the last episode, but there's taxis. Are there Ubers and other things these days, or is it really just taxis?
Well, there's taxis and there's some service like Uber, um, but Uber used to be operated in Morocco, but not anymore. Uh,
Yeah.
so there's quite a few options, but I want to talk specifically about the taxis because there has been some really good improvement when it comes to that. So
Okay.
in the past, they can hassle you, they can really take advantage of you.
Mm.
Right, that it should take $10, they'll make you pay $100 for it, maybe more. So now what you do is there's a kiosk, at least in Marrakesh, and I'm sure it's in all major airports in Morocco. There's a kiosk where you go and you tell the agent, hey, I'm going, for example, let's say you land in Marrakesh, and you tell them, hey, I'm going to Four Seasons Marrakesh. They'll get you a ticket, you'll pay for it, then that ticket you present to the driver, to the cab driver, and then he'll
Okay.
take you to the Four Seasons. There's no money exchange between you and the driver at all.
Right.
So it's you pay somebody. So this is getting rid of probably 95% of the scams at the airport.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
because in the past they will play you, you go from the first cabin line, second and third, they'll back and forth with you until you get tired, and you pay whatever the fee they want you to pay. So now this is an amazing experience,
Good.
for taxis. Now there's in taxis, they have what they call their own, you know Uber like or scheduled service, if you would, but it's called green taxi.
Hmm.
A green taxi, it's called taxi vert. A green taxi is basically, you can call them, they can schedule pickup for you, and they'll coordinate with you, and they can call your WhatsApp number. They have international calls, so they'll pick you up, but there's a charging fee if you do it during the daytime. they charge you
$1.
like $1. If you do it in the evening, like 6 p.m. and above, they charge you $1.50 extra for that service. And
Okay.
also, there's you know, those cabs or the cab drivers that they have signed with Taxi Vert or Green Taxi are really, really good. They have to
Hmm.
have some very good reviews. They have to have
Yes.
clean cabs.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is just in case if you don't want to go through the hassle, standing in the street and hailing a cab, you can call them, and they'll send one to you to your location. Also, there's other services where you can just do it on your phone on your app, and you'll get that service as well. So in regards for me, that's what I do. I do the green taxi because I know the service is gonna be better, and I know they're gonna come and they're gonna get me. Versus sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to hail a cab, to take me somewhere. So,
Hmm.
and also
Yeah.
when I hear what Sam has to say because he lives there and he knows a lot more
Yes.
than I do, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. If it comes to the taxi scams, so there is a lot to talk about. Absolutely, because in the past, before they created the cask, as Astin said, they just scam people. For example, when you come to the taxi driver, they say they want to go, for example, to Medina from the airport. It's like 10 minutes to 15 minutes drive. And for example, you are four. And how much? He said, okay, $10. Okay, $10 is fair for four
Hmm.
people. But when you get to your destinations, when you want to pay him, he said, no, 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 it's $10 per person. Yeah, he didn't mention it at the beginning. He said, okay, no, 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 you are wrong. It's $10 per person. Okay, okay. If you use, for example, the kiosk right now, which is improved a lot of things and avoided 90% of scams, as they said. When
Yeah.
you go, for example, when you go there and you want, for example, to tip the driver, don't give him like $20 or $50, because
Mm.
absolutely I will say, oh my friend, I don't have a change. Oh, I have a family, I have kids. Oh, can I keep it? Okay. What in your situation as a traveler, what are you going to say? Oh, you will believe him and you will live like him. Tips us $50, and the
Mm.
gap, the ride, it's only $10. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have always, if you don't have a change, okay, give him $20. You don't have exchange, give me my $20 back, and thank you very much for your service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What else about this? For example, the point, the problem is when, for example, when you move from a point to point outside the airport, from the Medina, for example, you wanted to go, let's say, from the Jamarna Square, and you want to go to the new town, which is called Gilis or
Mm.
Evernage, for example. When you get in the taxi, he will ask you at the beginning for like $30,
Mm.
and it's only 5 minutes drive. And we said, oh no, it's very far from here, and they will take you from this way to the other way, to the other way, to the other way to get you, instead of going just straight to the Gillies, because you don't know how to travel, you don't know the city, and you don't know. Just it will take you from the
Yeah.
other roads, on the roads, other roads to get you to Gillies,
Mm-hmm.
and they will ask you for normally for $30, which is not the price. The price
Mm.
Yeah.
I suggest and I advise to take small taxis and ask him to use the meter or the tape. For example, it costs like $1 from the
Okay.
Jamaica Square to the new town, just only one
Yeah.
dollar.
Mm.
If you don't, as they say, there is taxi vert, and there is other companies. I don't even remember the names, but the taxiver is the famous one. So you can just call him using your WhatsApp number, and they will send you the nearest driver to you,
Hmm.
and they will pick you up, and they will add nothing, just only the
Yeah.
the, the fare. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that one where you can prepay then, or if you're in the city and you order, then you pay at the end with Taxi
You pay
Vert?
at
Yes,
the end.
yes. At
Okay.
the
Yeah,
end,
you pay
yes.
at the end.
When they drop you, you pay him. Yeah.
Do you know if they take credit cards? Or is it all cash?
No, only cash.
Okay. Sam.
Because it's very cheap, Ted. If you go through all Marrakesh with the small taxi,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you use the meter, for example, you will pay like $15 or $20. If you use
Yeah.
taxi like for small taxi for 4 hours in the city, you will pay like $20 or $15.
Okay. Well, it's good. Yeah, because part of the problem, people don't know how much things should cost, right? And if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
forced to
for sure.
barter, which is often the case, whether it's taxis or shopping or whatever, you don't even know where to start. So this is good. This is good info to help people get started. I mean, okay, it's good to have these options. You can call the taxi. Can you trust your Riyadh to give you a reliable taxi at a decent price?
It
Generally,
depends.
No,
okay.
it depends. Most of them, they just call the taxi and they will get their commission from the taxi. They will
Ah,
not take you with the best rate, for example, the official. Because if you ride on the taxi, just like in the front, what's called mirror, pare-brise or something like that,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
you will see
the dashboard,
the
the
Yeah.
dashboard.
dashboard. You will see the rates there, official rates from the government.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can read it. From the airport to this point, for example, from the airport to the Medina, $7. From the airport to the Palmyra area, $10
Hmm.
during the day, and you add 50% during the nights. So it's
Hmm.
clear. For example, when you use a small taxi, there is rates written there. You can see, like for example, every for example every drive from this and this, it costs like 0.20 cents Moroccan currency.
Hmm.
And for example, the start for the day is 1 dirham 70, and for the nights is 2 dirham 50.
Hmm.
Okay, so everything is clear there. It's just you have to
Yeah,
read this stuff, and if you want to scam, you say, okay, look at this, look at this. There is the rates here. I will pay you with the rates. Yeah, you have here.
yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, just to add something to, the Riyadh will get you somebody, but there's always, commission, fees between the Riyadh and the taxi. So the fare is going to be a little bit higher than when you expect. But also, just like we talked in episode almost 2 years ago, when you get into a cab, before you get into it, just take a picture
Oh
of the
yeah.
cab number. Just
yes,
take a picture. It's really, really helpful. The
Yeah.
reason why it's you just basically you're sending a message to the driver that, hey, I know what I'm doing. You're not gonna mess with me,
Hmm.
because
yes,
there's specific police for taxis.
Okay.
yes,
And then when you get to the dash, I mean, when you sit whether next to the driver or in the back, also make sure that you take a picture of the mirror, the picture of the dashboard, so that way he sees you that you mean business.
Hmm.
You know,
yes, yeah,
he's not gonna overcharge you $20 or $40 or $50. So he's gonna be very careful of the way that he or she deals with you.
Hmm.
So
yes.
just it's psychologically they're not gonna wanna pull one
Scam
on you.
you.
So
Yeah. There is
yes,
another scam for the taxis that you have to be aware of is when you go to the taxi, for example, you want to move from place to place, from location to location, for example, he will ask you, "Hi, my friend, where are you from?" If you see, for example, let's see, I'm from US. Good people, good people. Canada, oh, very good people. How many days you have here? For example, I just arrived yesterday. Then he will be very happy. Automatically, he will tell you yes. He will tell you that there is. Oh, you are so lucky because very lucky because there is a
Hmm.
weekly Berber market which is open just today, and they
Yeah.
will take you to have a look there. Oh, there is many stuff, and it's Berber market, and stuff is very cheap there. And you don't have to buy anything; you just have a look, and they will take
Hmm.
it directly to the bazaar, and there you will be
yeah,
scammed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that a type of situation you can't get out of it without buying something?
No, just say
well,
no. Please take me from this location to this location. Drop me off there. Just not. I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to
yeah,
go anywhere. I
Hmm.
have my schedule
yeah,
already. Or just tell him I have my activity
yes.
booked. So just take me from this
Yeah.
to this. Yeah.
Hmm.
When you go to Morocco, you have to keep in mind everybody is a tour guide. Everybody has, they can book accommodations for you, they can book tours for you. You go get a haircut, trust me, they'll sell you tours. Oh, I know this. Oh, I can get. Oh, you go into Mirzuga. Yeah, we can do 3 days, 150. You know, just be careful. Be careful what you wish for.
Hmm.
Yes.
Taxis. Everybody, anywhere you go to your Riyadh. Oh, welcome, Mr. Smith. Thank you for checking in. You're staying with us for 2 days, and they'll start getting information from you. Oh, I'm going on a tour. Oh, that's excellent. we can book one for you. And say, no, no, I have it booked already. Then they say, well, how much did you pay? Oh my God, I can't believe you paid that much. You know, if you called us, we could have done the same thing for you for 200.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what do you mean? I mean, your mind starts to
Yes.
play games
Yeah.
on you. I mean, did I overpay? Did I this? Did I that? And trust me, we had this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Many
It
times. Many
happens
times.
all the
Yeah.
times.
Yes.
So and anyways, just be careful.
Let's get into some of that then. So we're in the city, Marrakesh, Fez. It could be anywhere. You're walking through the souks, the squares. What kind of things should you walk out for? Who's going to be coming up to try to grab you or sell you stuff or take you somewhere?
Everybody, including the kids. Luckily, the cats don't speak. They'll be pulling you
Uh-huh.
up too and say, "Hey, we can sell you something too." Trust me.
Yes. Oh, it's difficult honestly when you come to the souks. It's just horrible.
Mm.
It's terrible. But you first you meet like
It's
the first one you meet. Oh, hello, good morning, or good afternoon. Do you need an official guide? Do you need a guide? Oh, I can take
yeah,
you this and give you. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't go there. Don't go there. No, there is up. It's closed. Oh, do you know me? Where are you going
yeah,
first? You ask
Hmm.
me. He asked you and he answered at the same time.
yeah,
He asked you a
Yeah.
question and he answered himself. Oh no, no, this one is closed. Oh, the tandoori no, no, it's closed today.
Mm.
The weekly Berber market, no, 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 the Berber market is closed. There is only one open today, and you are lucky. Okay, the same scams using from the taxi drivers to the guides to
Hmm.
the full guides in Marrakesh. They are
yeah.
not, by the way, and they are not official guides. They are there
Mm.
to scam people,
Certi-
and
yeah, they're not
yes.
certified.
Then you
Yeah.
certified, yes. And the first
Yeah,
thing he will take you, for example, I will never take you to see Majorel Gardens. He will never take you to see the Bahia Palace or to see the mosque, the Kutubia Mosque, for
Mm.
example, in Marrakesh. Or he will never take you to see the Qarawiyyin University in Fez or
Mm.
Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca. No, they will just you directly to the market, to the bazaar, because he has a deal with the bazaar.
Yeah.
He just bring you and he disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, and
yeah,
the vendors in the bazaar will take care of you and they will take your money for sure.
Hmm.
yeah. A lot of those scams and scammers, it involves more than just one person, and
Mm.
you don't see it, you don't feel it when it's happening, but then afterwards, you start putting the two and two together. Then you realize, the first guy that you met at the souk or the market is just the first part of the scam, and he did his part, then he took you somewhere else, then those
Mm.
people did their part, then somebody else, and they'll do their part as well. So it
Mm.
feels like, if you want to go to the market, you have to wear a gladiator suit or something, hey, just stay away from me because it's going to be a fight.
Yes,
You can go in for like a walk through the market for 15 minutes without saying a word, and somebody is just accosting you throughout that walk, telling you all kind of propositions, all kind of things. They'll start throwing stuff at you, and the moment you say something,
yes.
you're
Yeah.
done.
Just
The
Yeah.
keep quiet.
moment you
Just
speak,
think, yes,
yes,
yes.
yeah,
You're done.
you're done.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Mm.
You're
yes.
done. Yeah.
So, with
Just keep
everything being
silent.
said, it's still a lot of fun. It's still enjoyable. It's an amazing experience, but you just need to do your homework before, go in and
Yeah.
do as much research as possible. Yeah.
You have to
And
know
you
what
have
to
to be
expect.
careful.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
because there is a scam, for example, with those people. When you're starting, you're getting, for example, in the market, just at the entrance, you'll find like a man with a bicycle, for example, with a jilaba here. I
Oh
said,
yeah.
just Chris, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, he meant just to touch you with his bikes or something like that. Oh, say, where are you going? We're looking for the tanneries, for example. Oh,
Mm.
come. There is another guy in front of him. Oh, Ahmed or Muhammad or any name. They said, okay, this guy is going. He will show you. It's on his way.
Mm.
Okay, he will just show you the road and you just continue yourself. Then the other guy moving with you like 500 meters, they will meet another guy. Oh man, okay, I'm not going there. I will go there, but my friend will take you to the, and then we will go through 3 or 4 people. Then you
Mm.
arrive to your destination. He will never take you there. He will take you to a closed street, and at the end, he will ask you money. When he
Mm-hmm.
said,
Yeah,
"Okay,
yeah,
just showing directions," no, 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 you have to pay me.
yes,
Mm.
yes,
If he take you to the tanneries, for example, he will take you directly not to tanneries, to a place where you have shopping, leather
yeah,
shop or some stuff like that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
At that point, I mean, we talked, and I remember in the past about the tourist police. Is there any chance of finding
yeah.
them at that point, or is it like you're too far gone?
You're probably too far gone because those guys, they know the market in and out. They probably have seen, you know, different people come into the market, so they
Mm.
know those police. They know them, so they know where they can, the areas that are gonna be to avoid them. They know where they are not gonna be, and that's where they'll probably take you.
Mm-hmm.
We've had this experience in Marrakesh, obviously, and also I personally had it in Fast because we were recording, and the guy just brushed my shoulder and said, "Hey, you have permits or you don't?" And I said,
Yeah.
he said, "Just it's yes or no question," and I said no, and he kept moving. He did not bother us, and if you did not really pay close attention, you would not know that that conversation happened. So those guys, they're very smart and they do not work alone. And
Mm.
that's what makes the scam very difficult to predict and
Yes.
realize, hey, you're in the process of being scammed.
Mm-hmm.
So, because when you educate yourself, when you have a lot of information, you can, within 10 seconds, you know that a scam is about to happen. And I've got many messages, many emails for people saying how helpful that episode of the scam, because they avoided so many scams.
Mm-hmm.
Many
Yeah.
travelers, they did not
Yeah.
travel with us, but it's just, whether it's a boyfriend,
Yes.
girlfriend, husband and wife, or a
Sure.
family, but they sent us, hey, thank you, that episode really saved us money.
Mm.
Because we
Yes.
realize that, if it's the bazaar scam, if it's the carpet scam, if it's the tannery scam, if it's the henna tattoo scam, if it's the taxi scam, if it's the riyadh scam,
Yes.
and it's, those guys, you have to understand, they're extremely smooth,
Mm.
and
Yes.
they with the biggest smile, uh, the biggest humbleness, and they'll get you at the end.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah. What I want to add is just say thank you as much as you can and keep moving. If he
Yeah.
just keep talking to you, just keep going to your direction. You
Mm-hmm.
want to visit the
yeah,
souks yourself, you don't want to use a guide, just go yourself, follow your map, and
yeah,
just keep going.
yeah,
It's not one, it's not two, it's not three. I can say the police, like 80% of them are very honest and they are doing their job.
Mm.
The 20%, they have deals with those people. But at the end, they got commission from what the travelers buy. Oh no, just I'm telling you the truth. This is the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
But 80% of them are honest,
Mm.
are very honest. They are doing their job,
mm,
and they're just keeping eyes of what's up. But the markets are huge and big. They couldn't control every corner of it. So
Right.
and you watch me, I watch you. So the police watching the people and the others watching them behind, and they know the places where they are, and they just call each other. Oh, they are coming your way. Move on to the
mm.
other side. Okay, yeah,
Mm.
that's it.
Yeah.
you know,
I'm telling people the truth
and,
because I witnessed this.
no,
I witnessed this many times in the market,
Mm.
and
yeah,
I really don't like it because
yeah,
I am here to enjoy my time, so you
Yeah.
don't have the right to bother me.
yeah,
Well, that's the
I'm
point.
I
Let's talk about that
Yes.
a bit, because like the tactics is, and I've been through this in Morocco and other places, is you ignore. You might say thank you, but you
yes,
just
yes,
ignore. You don't
yeah,
get eye contact. You keep moving.
yeah,
You're
yes,
confident. You
yes,
know where
yes,
you're going, even if you don't. But you make it look like you know what you're doing,
yeah.
and you just keep going and you ignore. Does that mean you really enjoy the experience, though? Can you be in the square, in the souks, and so on, and knowing there's people constantly coming up to you? Do you ever get to a point, maybe after a few minutes, maybe it takes a couple hours, maybe even it's a few days, but where you get to the point where you can kind of ignore it, or just and still enjoy being there in the moment, without being constantly hassled?
I mean, it's almost impossible, but when I went last time, me and Sam, we spent a lot of time in Jebel Fna Square,
Mm.
um, and there's so many tourists. It's there's
Yes.
it's happening always at the square, but I did not really see any of them being haggled or hassled.
Mm.
But what I always say, when you go to Morocco, you will have fun, but also try to fit in, try to blend in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the best way to do it is with the local clothes.
Yes.
Huh.
You know, when you, because for people, Morocco is very diverse. You know, even us. I mean, you look at us. I can say, Sam, you look, you know, Berber, and I could probably tell where he's from just because of the way that he looks, the
Hmm.
way that his face is shaped. You know, his bone structure. You look at somebody and say, hey, you look like you're from Casablanca or this or that and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, you know, nowadays Morocco is very diverse. You know, locally and also with the tourists. So it's really sometimes hard to predict where someone is from, and you do definitely want to blend in because um, it's gonna cause people to think that you are a Moroccan versus you're a tourist.
Right.
You know, if you look at the Moroccans in the north side of Morocco, they look a little different than, you know, the middle of Morocco or the southern part of Morocco. So I always highly recommend, you know, just get a local dress, whatever. You know, if it's, you know, a light jalaba or you know, a traditional clothing,
Hmm.
you know, it's gonna make you look cool, but at the same time, you're not gonna attract the wrong people to be, you know, following you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for example, if you wear a jilaba, for example, or if you wear, for example, a gandora, which is a woman dress, for example, they
Hmm.
already know you that you are already in Morocco for a while, and
Yeah.
that you know some stuff. So they will just ignore you and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep smiling, don't smile a lot. But for example, you just keep smiling and just talking to people. You don't have to talk to people. Talk to the right person, to the right people. For example, you need an advice. Take it from your Riyadh stuff or your hotel stuff. Take it from your local guide. If you go with the tour operator, for example, you will have a local guide, you will have your driver, anything you need. For example, just ask for questions. You don't need to ask like for guide or for guide on an official guide, for example, on the square. Just ask somebody, just and keep just talking to him. Absolutely, you will follow him and he will take you to a shop for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and he will scam you at the
Yeah,
end.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the last things on my list was about dining out, going to restaurants. Is there any scams there? I don't know, ordering off the menu or things like that to look for? Looks
Okay,
like it.
if I can go first,
Yes.
because I'm always hungry, you know that. So, you know, when you look at me, I have big belly and I do not skip any meals. So this happened to us in Tangier. I love Tangier.
Mm.
Tangier was a beautiful city. We had a little bit of hiccups in Tangier, but the one that it really was a surprise to me and it bothered me quite a bit was this restaurant that has some good reviews, and we went in because we looked them up online and Google, and we looked at the menu, so we know exactly what we wanted to eat and have and stuff like that. So the whole team, it was about 10 of us.
Yeah.
So we went in, they gave us a menu, and I told, you know, and I said, look to the waiter and said, look, the menu is different than the one that you have on
Yeah,
on Google.
Mm-hmm.
on
I
the
was like,
website. Yeah.
no, no, this is the, yeah, this on yeah, this is the menu that we have. And say, well, the prices are very different. It's not,
Mm.
we're not talking about $2 difference, $5 difference. We're talking about 30%, 40% increase
Mm.
on the price. And I said, can I talk to a manager? So he came in and I spoke with him and I explained everything to him. And he was like, well, this is it. Take it or leave it. So, but if you look at it in a way, you know, I'm traveling to Morocco. My time is very specific. I have certain time to eat lunch, certain time to eat breakfast, certain time to see this, you know, activity or do this activity. So I don't have that luxury of too many options or choices where, you know, they can do this to me and I'll just get up and go next door and have something else. It was difficult
Yeah.
for us. So
Yeah.
basically what we ended up doing and said, look, this is not right.
Mm.
And Tangier, it's a beautiful city. It's a very touristic city. So most people, what they do is they don't complain. They don't say anything. They just look at the price and say, hey, you know what? we're just gonna finish our lunch here. By the
Mm.
way, they have an amazing, you know, wine selection. So what happened is we asked around, and it was luckily a couple of blocks away, another restaurant. So we went in and we had an amazing experience. The food was incredible.
Huh.
It was seafood that we had. It was amazing, amazing experience. So just be
Yeah.
careful when it comes to this.
Yes.
You know, the other thing is, you know, make sure that if you eat something, it's on the ticket because you'll get, you know, a few items that you did not even see. at the
Mhm.
table and you're being charged for them. So there's all type of scams. But
Yes.
I would like also to hear what Sam has to say,
Yes.
because this is a hot topic for us as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there is first, thank you very much for this question because it's very important to answer it. There is two scams when it comes to restaurant and food. For example, you have to be careful when they give you a menu at the beginning. You have I prefer if you can take a photo of the menu with your phone like that because at the end when you want to pay, they will give you another menu with the different prices you give you at the
Really?
beginning. Yes, it's happened, especially on the square with the food stalls.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you go there, be careful for the menu because it gave you the menu, a very cheap menu at the beginning. When you want to pay, and you say, "Oh no, this wasn't here before. This is not the menu." It will bring it to you the same menu. I said, "Oh, this is our menu. This is the only one we have."
Hmm.
And they have
Yeah,
two. They show
yeah,
you one at the
yeah,
beginning, and at the end you have to pay with this. So you have to be careful. Not in all restaurants, by the way, but in many of them, especially on the squares and in the souks.
Mhm.
Other thing, as Steve mentioned, when you want to pay, read your bill before you pay it because there is many
Mm.
additions you don't. For example, you don't eat or you don't drink, and you will pay for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. I mean, it's maybe a scam, but sometimes it's just kind of a common practice in other countries too, where they bring things to the table. You didn't order it, but they bring it,
yes,
right? And you, I guess in North America, let's say, often that means it's complimentary. It's a basket of bread or whatever. It's a
yeah,
bottle of water.
yes,
You can't
chips, yeah,
assume that
yeah,
it's included, though. Often in
yes.
Morocco, let's say, where yeah, you don't know. So what do you do? Do you ask if someone brings like all the appetizers and little bowls and stuff? Should you ask and say, "Hey, is this included?" Or "How much does it cost?"
Oh yeah,
Yes, you have
yes,
to
for
ask.
sure. Yeah,
Yes.
Huh.
definitely ask. Also, I want to add to something that Sam has said. This it happens quite a bit in Essaouira, in Fas, in the coastal cities. When you get the fish, or you go to the fish market and you buy your own fish and you give it to
Yes.
them, so they cook it, but they bring you salads. There's
Oh yeah.
Moroccan salad, there's this type of salad, there's all kind of stuff that we talked about last time when we spoke about food.
Mm.
Some of it is included and some of it is not included, and then you'll be charged or double charged for things. So this is number one. Number two, just to add to what the menu, different prices in the menu. Some places they'll give you a menu and it's gonna say one menu in English,
Mm.
and it's gonna say, for example, um, you know uh, chicken with olives and
Lemon, yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, lemon. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, lemon. And then you'll say the price is 140 dirhams, and it's going to be the same thing in Arabic, and it says 70 dirhams. So they
Ah.
have local menu for the locals, then the other one is for the tourists, and the tourists they pay extra. The reason why, because they got to give a commission to whoever the driver that brought them to that restaurant, or the guide that brought them, or the tour leader. So
Mm.
you really have to be very careful that you're getting charged the right amount,
Yes.
versus being twice as much and stuff like that.
Yes.
In a case
So
like
Yeah.
that, will they let you pay the local price though? Like even if you know that there's difference, to be like you're a tourist, you have to pay the tourist price.
If you know the price, if you know the
no,
Moroccan price, pay Moroccan price.
yeah,
And
Okay.
at the
yes,
end, you pay
yes,
what you want. By the way, if you don't know,
yes,
just don't be like shy or something. When it comes to this, and when you feel that they scam you,
Mm.
you have to say no. I will pay this and this and this. That's it. This is what
yeah,
what was in the
yes,
price, and this is what I will pay.
yes,
Here is something else. When it comes to this, for example, when you for alcoholic drinks,
Mm.
you have to be careful because there is many scams there. It shows you, for example, a bottle of wine. Let's see, that costs, for example, $10. But when you will pay for it, you will find like it's $25.
Yeah.
And when you say, "Oh no, no," because you see this and you choose this, and when you
mm,
see, "Oh no, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I chose the wrong price,"
Yeah.
you blame yourself. And
yeah,
no,
Mm.
it was the one you chose. It was for $10 or for $7, for example, and instead you will pay it for $25.
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah,
you have to be careful with this as well.
Mhm.
yes, yeah. This happened to us. Last time was back in 2019, and we sat at a small shop. It was a lot of fun, very nice. Mulay Ahmed Zarhoun,
Maria Idris
and
Zahran, yeah,
Mulay
yeah,
Idris Zarhoun. Yes, thank
yeah.
you, Sam. And the waiter, um, I know he was stealing from everybody, but it was just funny that the way that he was doing it, and he was stealing from us. And because just like you said, Sam, the price, I figured everything that we ate should be $55, but then it came up to 120, for example.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um, and when I asked him, and I gave him, I stared at him and a poker face, and he was like, "Oh, it's just a mistake." And I said, "Look, there's no mistakes. I know I watched you, but it's okay. You can keep it."
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
it's just,
But no.
somebody can give you the best service there is with the biggest smile, but at the end of the day, they'll still take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
Mm.
look at your items, look at what things that you have ordered. Are they the same? Are they different? Now, the other thing is, keep in mind they may charge you for gratuity, they may have some additional charges. If you're not aware of, you don't know, just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah,
as I
just
mentioned
ask.
before, just use your phone. Everything you want to order,
Yeah.
Yeah,
take photo with your phone,
yes,
then just keep it at
Mm-hmm.
the end, and
yes,
you see
yeah,
what you have ordered. Check your bill before you pay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And this,
Yeah.
by the way, when we're talking about these cases, we're talking about for people that traveled on their own, for example,
Mm-hmm.
uh, not us. I
Well, I was going
think,
to say, yeah,
yeah,
I wanted to throw in a pitch, a spontaneous
yes,
pitch at this point for being on a guided tour, because when we
yeah,
were there, either well, we usually had breakfast at the Riad. We had dinner was included, and you guys paid for it either ahead of time or Driss would pay for it himself at the end, right? He had a budget for that. We would pay for lunch, but often that was with him. I mean, his recommendation. He was there. He was there to check the menu, make sure everything was
yeah.
legit.
Yes. Yes.
So it really spoke to the security and just peace of mind of having a guide in situations like that. So really appreciated that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. When you traveled, for example, with us, either for example the meals that are included in your trip price, for example, is included. If, for
Yeah.
example, it's not included, let's see, or dinner not included or lunch not included, we give you recommendation
Hmm.
of the restaurant we know, honest, and have like a customer service
Yeah.
of quality. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I have to go. My
Yeah.
apologies.
No, it's very. This has been good. It's about time to wrap up, anyways.
Yes.
But this is nice. It's a nice addition, update to the last episode.
Yeah.
I think we learned a lot. Keep your head down, stay
Yeah.
focused, be confident, use your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. The people they have to be very careful
Yeah.
because they will be scammed, and
Yeah.
we are here to advise them and to give them advices and tips, not to fall in this scams because it's so sad.
Hmm.
It exists, as I mentioned at the beginning of the life, worldwide.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as we Moroccans, we have to tell people to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
yeah,
And I often found some of it comes back to the bartering, which isn't necessarily a scam, but it's just that people like doing it as part of the culture. And I think sometimes people just see it as a game. Here's a tourist coming along. They're probably from North America or whatever. Let me see how much I can get out of them. They don't care. One thing I really learned traveling over the years is like, you think if you're firm and you say no and you ignore somebody and all that, then we're conditioned that that's of course impolite and you don't want to be rude. But the people there, wherever it is, they don't care. They'll just move on to the next person, right? And that gave me a lot of confidence. It's like I'm just going to tell you no, and I'm not going to let you bother me. And if I offend you, that's your problem. But really, I mean,
yes,
it's
yeah,
just a game. They'll just find somebody else. And that really kind
yeah,
of puts things in
yeah,
perspective too.
yeah. And I want to add something very important, as you mentioned, the souks or the
Mm,
shops in the markets, for example. When some, for example, let's say you are hanging out in the markets or on the bazaar, for example, and you find a guy there in front of a bazaar in the gate, for example, see you, oh, do you want to have a look?
mm,
Okay, you didn't go there. You say, oh, look. At the beginning, you said, oh, just you. I'm just hanging out and just having a look. When he
yeah.
said, just get in and have a look. Okay, you go there and you see the stuff. You don't have to buy. And if he said no, it's you who asked me to get in. I didn't ask you.
Mm,
No, sometimes as I said, be polite at the
hmm.
beginning. and just you have to must to show you're angry if he maintain or he
Yeah.
keep disturbing you or he keep just pushing you to buy some stuff that you don't like, for example, because
Yeah.
at the beginning you will say, oh, just come on, have a look, we have some cheap stuff here, you can just have a look, and yeah, just have a look, just have a look, just come on,
Mm.
oh, it's Berber, it's original, it's antiquated stuff.
Mm.
No, just say no. And if he
Yeah.
insists to come in, just go, take photos, see what you want to see. You don't like the prices, get out. You want
Mm-hmm.
to buy, you have to bargain. You have to
Yeah.
negotiate the
Yeah.
prices. As we
Exactly.
mentioned in the last episode, for example, say half price. Yeah,
Yeah.
half price. If sometimes you start from 30% of the price he showed you at the beginning, and you just increase until you arrive to the 50 or half a price. And then if you like it, you can still buy it. You don't like it, don't be shy saying that I lose his time. This is
Mm-hmm.
how this is what he is doing or what she is
Yeah. That's how
doing.
it works.
This is
Yeah.
part this is part of his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he can scam you, he can scam you. If he can't scam you, if he find you that you are aware, and he will let you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
And it takes some getting used to. I mean, the first time you're in that situation, it's new, it's different. But once you've been through it a few times, different shops, different places, different days,
yeah,
you can draw from that experience and you start to get used to it. And yeah, again, you really do find that confidence. So
yeah, yeah.
it's all part of
It's
traveling.
yes, yeah, it's part of the travel. You just yeah, just don't let somebody just to ruin your
Yeah.
trip or your journey. For example, when you are in the
Hmm.
markets or in general when you travel throughout the country, just don't let somebody to ruin your travel.
Hmm.
Yeah, just sometimes be serious, be polite, talk to people, meet the locals, yes, talk to them, learn from the local culture, learn from the experience. But I suggest everywhere you go, take a local guide.
Yeah.
So if you travel, for example, with us, you will have local guides everywhere you go.
Mm.
But if you don't travel with us, what I suggest in the big cities, a local guide is a must if you want to avoid this kind of scams.
Mm.
And for the taxis, as we mentioned before, there is so many scams you have to avoid. And
Mm.
every time you don't like something, he said, "Okay, I don't, or I will call the police." If he
Hmm.
said, "I will call the police," just he will be scared for sure, especially the taxis. If he said, "I will
Yeah.
call the police," he will just take you for free, just to shut up. Yes, yes, because he
Mm.
knows when a tourist call the police and the police can make sure they will take his license drive and they will take his taxi license
Hmm.
and he will like maybe sometimes it's not forever, sometimes
Mm.
like for 3 months, for 6 months, and
Yeah.
sometimes if, for example, if they find that this action is repeated in his record, then
Right.
he will step on from work forever.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
good. That's a legitimate threat then. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Well, maybe we'll leave it there. Lots of good advice. And
yeah.
yeah, I'm glad we did this one today. It was fun.
Good. Thank you
Cool.
very much, Ted.
Oh, see you next month.
Yeah, inside next month, sure.
Cheers.
You have traveled the world, but Morocco's allure beckons you. Destination Morocco is here to create the perfect once in a lifetime Moroccan journey, tailored exclusively to your desires. Let us craft an itinerary that unlocks the secrets of this mesmerizing land just for you. For a luxurious, bespoke Moroccan adventure of a lifetime, visit destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, morocco.com. And let us turn your dreams into reality. Your amazing Moroccan experience awaits.